for today's session. Study Australia is conducting a webinar series on different topics related to career guidance and higher education opportunities. Today's topic is Study Hospitality and Tourism in Australia. Before we get started, I'd like to say a few things about the format and how we are going to proceed. Today we have 3 panelists and each of them will give a short talk or make a presentation. And instead of questions and answers after each talk, we will have a segment at the very end for Q&A. So please text us your questions through chat. We have put the mics of all the participants on mute. We hope to finish the webinar by around 2:15 p.m. Maldives time. And a recorded version of this webinar will be available on our Facebook page. For those of you just joining us, welcome to our session. Now I would like to introduce our panelists to you. As I mentioned, today's topic is Study Hospitality and Tourism in Australia. And we are featuring an Australian institute called Australian Professional Skills Institute, APSI. And among the panelists, we have Mr. Hussein Afif from Lux Resorts and Hotels, Ms. Jenny Tao from Australian Professional Skills Institute, and Amnat Hidayah from Study Australia. Mr. Hussein Afif is the Regional Director of Lux Resorts and Hotels. He's also the President of Maldives Association of HR Professionals, MAHRP. Afif is a passionate hotelier and a human capital development expert with over 16 years of experience in operational and service excellence. Over the years, Afif held several positions in human capital with a specific focus on creating organizational cultures, change management, and assisting world-class brands in strategizing their growth and market capitalization by using people and service as a competitive differentiator. As a passion, Afif developed a particular focus on and traveled to over 6 continents and spoke in 46 different audiences over the last 10 years, which included the United States, United Kingdom, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, India, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and the Maldives. Currently, Afif is the Regional Director of Lux Resorts and Hotels, taking the responsibility of human capital and quality management, and also serves as the President of the Maldives Association of HR Professionals. Afif's passion for coaching and mentoring others has brought him to recognition such as the John Maxwell team as the Executive Director for the Maldives, and a coach of Marshall Goldsmith Stakeholder-Centered Coaching Program. Australian Professional Skills Institute is located in Perth, Western Australia. It specializes in commercial cookery, hospitality, healthcare and community services, and business management skills trainings. APSI is an official pathway partner for Edith Cowan University, ECU. One of the reasons why we chose to feature APSI is because it has an excellent pathway program for students who wish to start up their careers in the hospitality industry. Hida from Study Australia will present regarding the services provided by the agency. Study Australia is the Maldivian branch for the education agency, EduTraining Australia. It provides career guidance and also assistance in institute and university applications management and other services like visa management, finding accommodation, and also in areas like budgeting and costing. My first question is to Afif, just to start off the conversation. The tourism industry of the Maldives started in 1972, which was nearly 50 years ago, with just 2 resorts. Tourism in the Maldives has grown and flourished over the years. Now, the Maldives is a top destination of the world with over 140 island resorts and many hotels and guest houses. Afif, given the status of the industry, how much need is there for training and development of Maldivians to work in the tourism sector?
Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm pleased to be on this panel and speak with all of you, and of course for students or even those who are working right now in the industry or those who are looking for higher studies. I think this will be a very good conversation we'll have today. This is a very relevant question, I think, for the time, and if you look into how the industry started, it was in 1972, and if you look at the last 10 years, the industry has grown beyond what we actually imagined at the very beginning. 2019 was a remarkable year. We, in the Maldives, there's a record number of resorts that opened, which also brought some amazing brands to the Maldives. And if you look into Maldives industry now, we have almost every imaginable international brand, from the world's finest to the world's most innovative brands, and also to brands that were just created out of nothing. And it's incredible to see how the industry is growing. And of course, when the industry is growing, one of the important resources that we need is the people. And we saw that in the Maldives last year when nearly 23 new resorts opened, there was a lack of human capital resources, not just within the local workers, but also, within specific skills and jobs that we needed in the industry. So this was a huge area. So a lot of the time, we tend to, hire students directly from schools. There's apprenticeship programs. We train them, and operationally for certain jobs, we can get it through. But if we look into today where we are and beyond, and obviously now we're all, sitting at home or at our workplaces, maybe in some countries, because they were in a very, specific situation in this current pandemic. And the industry has been impacted a lot, but it is going to bounce back. We anticipate in the next 2 to 3 years down the line, things are going to get to where it was in 2019. So we have a very good opportunity here to really train our people, get people ready. And in the hospitality industry, and I think if there's any industry in the world where you need constant learning and constant understanding of what's happening it is the hospitality industry. Because in our business, what is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. What was relevant 5 years ago is not relevant today. How we used to do things when the industry started and how we used to do things when we were only operating local brands versus international brands is totally different. It is estimated that the Maldives tourism industry is worth $15 billion. 15 billion. It's a big number we're talking about. And these are mostly foreign investments. And the last data that I have, which shows that only $1 billion is what has been invested from the local bank. So what does that tell us? It's an international industry. And we need our people, the Maldivians, obviously to take the lead in terms of gathering the right training, gathering the right educational qualification, and obviously complement that with experience and along the way. So this will be a very important area. And if I have to give you 3 key areas, one of them is obviously there are colleagues in the industry which have been there for a very long time with a lot of experience. And in our business, experience do counts, especially if you're in a senior position or if you have to get into a senior level. So for them, the executive development programs is a key area that they can go on, and so they can focus on that. For those who just joined the industry, probably with high, let's say you finish a high school and then you join, but you probably may not have a higher diploma or a bachelor's degree. I think to get into a senior level, it will always complement if you have something like that. So that is an area where we can focus. And the other area is, I think, learning from the global industry. What are the best practice out there in terms of training and development, and how can we get engaged? I always recommend that us as locals get into other countries and learning what they do. And this always could be when we go for study or when we go for experience training or an experience program. So this will become a key focus. And we learned that during the pandemic that when we close all our resorts and properties and facilities, or wherever they provide hospitality service, that multi-skilling was a key area. So again, through higher education, through training experience, this will become a key area we will focus, not just here in the Maldives, but I think across the world, this has been one of the key topics in the last 4 months. And in the next 3 years, when we try to bounce back, this will be a key area. I think, Arif, your mic is on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Afif. My mic was on mute. Yeah, that was very insightful, and it really shows that the industry has evolved much over the years, and there's a substantial need for education and development in this sector. I think it's also good to know that increasing number of Maldivians are now interested to pursue careers in the tourism sector. A recent poll by the Higher Education Ministry also has shed light to that. Now we'd like to invite Jenny to give us an introduction of APSI and the details and give the details of the courses offered by the Institute. Jenny.
Hi. Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Jenny. I'm actually working at APSI as an admission and also the marketing officer. So I will be, if anyone is looking for any course informations or looking for any advice for what you're gonna do in the future, you will be just need to, getting advice from me. So actually I'm originally from Taiwan. So originally, English is not my first language. So the reason why I chose Perth to study and also chose Perth to extend my life, just because, Perth actually there's a lot of different multiple cultures people, and also especially for Chinese as well, whenever we think to move to Australia, we don't want to stay in the same community, because the reason why we want to extend our friends from the different nationality, and also want to know there's a different opportunities in the different area. So that's the reason why I chose Perth. And actually I have made a lot of different friends here and also expand my career. So actually APSI, we have been in this industry for more than 10 years. Just quick share my slides. Cool. Okay, so APSI actually has been in this industry for more than 10 years. And with our strength, actually, we are really focusing on the cookery, patisserie, and hospitality courses. And also, we also offer the business courses as well. And we are the vocational school, and we also are the pathway to Edith Cover University as well. Let's start our journey, and I just share the videos about APSI. Okay. Okay, so just give me a second. So I think for some technical issue, I don't know why the sound is not playing, but I'll share these corporate videos to Study Australia. So in the future, if anyone needs to have any more information, and you can watch the videos. APSI actually are focusing on the cookery, patisserie, and hospitality courses. So this is actually, if you want to study in Australia, I normally recommend, you have to build out your experience on the different area. So quick share the slides, just hang on a second. Okay, so with our cookery area, if you want to study, you actually can study the 2 years duration. So IPS are actually more focusing on for the students who are doing the workplace training. What's different between APSI and the other college? Whoever study the cookery course, actually they will, whenever they complete 2 years duration, they will finish 600 hours workplace training. So we're actually working with a lot of different industry partners. So we work with Marriott Hotel, Rendezvous Hotel, and also the well-known Crown Casinos as well. So this is our very popular industry partners to work with. Yeah, so if you are doing the package, you will be doing this 1 year duration for the certificate 3 plus, the other and 1 year for the certificate 4 and diploma qualification. So after you finish these 2 years, you can apply for the graduate visa in the future to be able to work in Australia for full time, or find any more chance to be able to stay in Australia. Yeah. So, and this is our patisserie course. So we also offer the patisserie course for 2 years duration as well. So you will be studying certificate 3 in patisserie to start with, and continuing to study another 6 months for the patisserie, and also 6 months for the diploma level. So normally for the cookery and patisserie students, you want to build more connections in the industry with the industry partners. So you start from the second term, we actually work with the Rendezvous Hotel. So what would the student will be doing? So they will be doing 1 day to study theory in the class, but we'll be study 1 day practical with at the Rendezvous Hotel with our chef trainer. So all the chef trainer, they will be demonstrate all the kitchen and all the different skills when they are doing the practical class. And also student will be doing the workplace training at the Rendezvous Hotel. So with the workplace training, actually you will be actually knowing what exactly that we will be doing in when you are actually working in the field. Yeah, so that's why workplace training is much more important than anything else. Why you want to study patisserie? Why you want to study cookery? Because you want to become a really famous chef in the future, and connection is more important, because once you get into the industry, you actually have more chance to work in the well-known hotels or well-known kitchens, and in order to get good resumes in the future. So maybe in the future you will be able to stay in Australia, or have a really, really good resume written down on the really good hotel on your resume. And we also have the course which is hospitality course. So actually with the hospitality course, we do have different streams. So we do have the cookery stream, we do have patisserie stream, and we do have the food and beverage stream. So with the food and beverage stream, actually will be, you will need to know how to serve the alcohols to the customers, how to say no if you have any difficult customers, and also you will have the you will need to do the rostering, and also how to operate a bar, operate the restaurants. So you will need to know all the skills to have the business in those areas, especially for the diploma of hospitality and management. I know in Maldives actually it's most popular because there's a well-known holiday place to I would say to everyone. So I wish one day I can go as well. Yeah. So it's when you are doing this, actually you will just need to you will upgrade your skills. So you are coming to overseas. Actually, you will need to know like what's the different industry and what's the culture that you will be, taking. You will be learning as well in the future. In the future, maybe you can do, when you are finished the diploma of hospitality and management, you actually can do the pathway to our ECU, which is Eddie Coward University, to package with either Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management or Bachelor of Hotel and Resort Management as well for another 2 years. This is why API is so well known, and it's really good package with ECU, just because whenever you finish your diploma level, you can direct entry to the second year with ECU. So we all understand when you are studying overseas in Australia, sometimes it costs so much. We all understand this, especially for the international student. You have to pay all the living expenses, and also, tuition fee as well. Sometimes it's really, really hard. So this is why I normally tell students, when you are going out for study, you have to study smart. And also, what do you mean study smart? You have to, think about the good way, shortest way, save the money, save the time as well. So APSI package with ECU, you can actually direct entry to the second year, which means you can save so much money on the first year. When you are studying at the university, normally 1 year will be around 13,000 a year. So when you are studying with APSI, more than 13,000 for each semester. But in APSI, you can save more than $20,000 for the first year, and you also can get a scholarship with ECU. So you can save so much money, save so much time. Also, you can build up the industry experience as well. So this is why study smart is really important. Okay. And we also have the business course as well. So with our business course, we actually offer Diploma of Business or Diploma of Leadership Management. You can either choose 6 months Diploma of Business course and package with ECU with the Bachelor of Commerce, or you can study Leadership Management for 1 year and package with Bachelor of Commerce as well. What's different between those two courses? With the Leadership Management, actually, you will have another 3 months work experience to be able to know what exactly that you will get the job like. So we will place you to the Rendezvous Hotel or any accommodation, well-known good hotel accommodation, and to become a administration, or you can become a back office management to be able to learn different skills. And once you complete the Diploma of Leadership Management, when you get into the ECU, normally when you are studying at the university, it's more about the theoretical part. So you have a different area and to build up your skills. And this is our workplace training looks like. When you are doing the cookery course, you actually will be provided uniforms, and also full knife sets, kitchen chef shoes as well, and also the chef cap too. When you are doing the hospitality course, of course, you will need to provide the the really formal dress, such as white shirts, black trousers, just look really upstanding. And especially, I want to bring out this one to everyone. So with actually APSI work with a lot of the different industry partners. We actually had the agreement sign up with Marriott Hotel. So they will come to our APSI to pick the staff from APSI students, just because they all know we are really high up to standard, really high qualities as well. So that's the reason why they come to our college to pick the student to have, because when we have the Marriott Hotel event, they will actually come to our college to review and also interview the students as well at the same time, and they will just hire the students straight away. Yeah, so this is all the industry partner that we are working with. So yeah, that's it. The other thing I just want to build up just want to mention again, with actually APSI, you know, we package with ECU. So if you are doing the diploma of hospitality management, you can either choose 1 year to 1.5 years, just depends on which solution you want to do. And you can package with either Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Hospitality Management, also the Bachelor of Hotel and Resort Management. If you are studying leadership management, you can have the Bachelor of Commerce to direct entry to the 2nd year as well. And also the Diploma of Community Services, you can package with Bachelor of Social Science for 2.5 years. So that's our package. You know, we work with Studies Australia really well, just because they help us with screening all the applications with our dive students. And then they also help our students to, you know, to submit the students' visa application, to prepare everything really well, just because they really care about our students. You know, so in the future, if you have any question about the visa process or any application policy procedures, welcome to contact to either Hida or Arif in the future at the Study Australia. Okay, and just want to mention one thing as well, because you know, I understand because of the COVID-19, it's really struggle for all the students. Actually, Australia is really welcome to international students, so that's why we may open the border maybe next year in February or April. This is what I normally tell students as well. I always so regret that I didn't come to Australia when I was 20. And when I came to Australia when I was 25 years old. And I was always want to know, like, why I always been so late to come to Australia. You know, this is the thing that I normally tell students. Every time, if you ever think about you want to go to study overseas, or if you want to build up any experience, if you have any question or anything, just contact to Studies Australia. Here, either Hida or Arif, they will help you start from beginning to the end. But if you ever have any thought about going to study abroad, do it. Do it as you go, you know, because that's really important than anything else. At least you've got anything ready, everything ready. For the financial wise, you can always ask Study Australia, so they can give you the proper response and the proper information. So yeah, I look forward to see you guys in the future.
Thank you very much, Jenny, for your presentation and the details of the programs that you provide. As you have said, there are many advantages of starting the studies with your diploma programs. And you have the pathway program, which gives access to students from the second year of the degree courses offered in ECU, Edith Cowan University. I have a few questions to Afif before we head on to the presentation from Ida regarding the education agency, Study Australia. Afif, currently you are in a top executive position of a leading hotel group. Could you please tell us your story, including how you began your career and progressed? And also, what's your advice to those who wish to seek careers in the tourism sector?
Thank you, Arif. I think if I have to share in detail, it will take quite a while, but I probably make it very short. I think the one thing that I would actually comment for where I am today is definitely paying attention to continuous studies and continuous learning opportunities. So, you know, over the years while working, I've, you know, completed, you know, several educational programs, latest including MBA. And, you know, now I'm actually, you know, in process of my PhD program while working, you know, full-time job, and also a lot of executive education programs. And I think this is very important, because when you reach a certain level, you obviously have to perform at a very different level. And like, you know, many of my colleagues, and a firm belief that I have is that every new level we have, it requires a new mindset. You can't lead at the same level as it used to be before. And also the challenge is when you get a new position, I think the challenge with a lot of us is that we say that we will get ready when we get the job. Right? We'll be already late. You have to always be ready. So you can't say that I'm going to do that when I get this job, or I'm going to go through this education program when I get that job. That's already will be late. So you have to always be ready. And I think this is one thing that I would compliment in terms of what I'm always studying and learning, to the next level. So when you reach there, you have to be ready. So this is an advice I would like to give to anyone, to the participants, anyone who is watching. You have to always be ready, and you can't. I hear often people, colleagues and industry, employees. They would say that I would do it when I get the job, but when you get the job, it will already be ready. So you'll already be late. So why not just get ready and be ready? So when you get the job, you already will be able to perform in that. So I invested a lot of my time on studying and learning, and also understanding an industry perspective, especially when you become a senior leader where you have to lead many people and you have to make decisions for everyone, which will have an impact on the lives of people. You can't just make decisions based on a local context. You have to make it based on an industry, international aspect, because the Maldives tourism industry is not just a locally based industry. It is an international industry. It just happened to be in the Maldives. And, of course, we have to be very proud that it is in the Maldives. The most luxurious business, industry is here in the Maldives. So I think the key point here is that, if one wants to develop and go beyond their potential, you have to always have this mind of continuous growth, continuous learning, right? I can't tell you I can't remember because it's a lot. In the last 10 years, if I look around, I think I probably may have attended nearly, maybe let's say more than 100 or 150 international exposures that actually will help me to understand how other people operate. It could be a conference, it could be a webinar, it could be, of course, nowadays a lot of these are virtual. But the whole point is that don't wait until you get something. I literally want to share this example where we wanted to promote somebody to a supervisory level, and we said, well, to get to this level, you have to do this, then only you get to that level. And that specific person said, well, I'll do it when I get that confirmation of my promotion. It doesn't work like that. And of course, some people may not like what I'm saying, and it's all right. We're not, I don't think from a local perspective, I think from a global perspective, because we are globally we are connected, and I think it's a competitive advantage. So we have to start thinking globally. So for example, let's say a student from here applies for one of to the university, which Jenny just mentioned, and the education program, and you get chosen, and let's say you go to Perth and you study, and you say, well, and you get an opportunity to do a part-time job, for example, and you say, oh no, well, I'll do the job when I finish study. Or you're actually missing a moment here. We should be able to do more things at the same time, right? So that I credit to what I'm doing. I have a full-time job. If things were in good order, I would be traveling somewhere right now. But also I do many other things, at the same time. But I have 24 hours. How do I do that? Because if you love what you do, and you have to have the growth mindset. And I know there are many other colleagues with me in the industry that practice the same thing. And I think with the new, those who finish school and go for higher studies have to leave school with this mindset that when you get an MBA, it's not over. When you get a bachelor's degree, it's not over. It is the starting point in many cases. So I think that is one thing we have to pay attention.
Thank you for that, Afif. Working in the tourism sector is said to be quite tough. If you work in a resort, you practically live there, away from your family and others close to you. So how does one balance work and life in this sector?
Yeah, the interesting part is that I am a firm believer that there is no such thing as work-life balance. But there's no research which has shown that there is something called work-life balance. I mean, how do you balance? I mean, we all have 24 hours. So I'm in the Maldives. I think Arif, you're in the Maldives. Hida, I think you're in the Maldives, and Jenny's in Australia. So we all have 24 hours. It's all how we manage, how we actually, put our schedules and prioritize things. But I believe is in work-life integration, finding out what works really well for you. And this question I get asked from many audiences, and this is the same answer I give. You can't manage time, which means literally it's moving. You can't stop it. Like you can't, control it, but you can manage yourself. So if you manage yourself, you actually, then you could say literally you're managing the time because you're managing what do you spend, right? So if I have to give one tip of integrate, I mean, over the years, I have cut down on conversations, on meetings, on chit chats that doesn't add value to me. If for example, I live in the resort, but usually every Sunday. I mean, right now I haven't gone anywhere since February. Since March, when because of the current pandemic. So usually I'll go to Mad every Sunday if things were in good order, and I would because I'm the president of HR Association, so we have a lot of formal meetings. But I would meet a lot of people. But each of those meetings is about adding value to somebody, adding value to other people, doing something. So when you cut down all these unnecessary meetings and conversations that you have, you actually find a lot of the time, because literally if somebody sleeps, for example, 8 hours per day, or 6 to 8 hours per day, which is considered as very healthy. Then you, for example, set aside an hour for your health and fitness. You set maybe another 2 hours for all your, eating meals and all those things. And then you set 8 hours for work. I mean, you still have about 4 to 6 hours balance. How do we spend those 4 to 6 hours? Watching TV, spending time with the family. A lot of people spend time on unnecessary things. So we're not gonna, in our life, we're not gonna get more than 24 hours. So why not just take time to use what we have? So the answer to that is really integrate and do what makes you happy more, and find who you need to add more value. And it will work perfectly fine. Many industry colleagues have this practice. I know a lot of people who are senior locals, Maldivians, they have bigger responsibilities than me. They manage it very well too, because they integrate into. And of course, the people in your inner circle, your family, your friends, your relatives, people who you work with, needs to understand that too. So I think that would be the approach we need to use. Find a way how we can integrate, and the best way to integrate is that prioritizing what you need to do and to whom you need to do it, and what makes you, if you do something, it makes you happy and values for other people, then do it. If it doesn't, probably you need to cut down on that and find other things that can do, because life is short, time is short too. So we got to use it at our best ability. And my last point is that over the years, I've cut down a lot on, things that doesn't add value to me, or conversation that doesn't add value to me. I find a lot of time free then to do other things.
That's a very interesting perspective, Afif. Thank you for that. Now, request Hida to introduce Study Australia and give us details of the services provided by the agency. Hida.
Yeah, thank you, Arif. Let me share the screen and give you a short presentation on the services we provide at Study Australia. So as Arif has mentioned, Study Australia is the education agency of the Edu Training Australia, which is based in Perth, Australia. And our main objective is to provide and disseminate information about the opportunities provided by international students in Australia, UK, and also Malaysia. We also offer education counseling and application management services to those who are inquiring. So if you're applying to any country, Australia, Malaysia, or UK, you can just reach out to us. Yeah, and the services, talk about the services. Here at Study Australia, we have QEIC approved qualified education counselors who will be giving you information about your whatever you want to study. We will give you a career guidance and awareness sessions. And we can also help you with application and visa management, and give you help you with the cost estimation and budgeting. Two of our recent services we added into our services are BML Government Student Loan Application and BML Student Loan Application, assistance with both of those areas. So if you have already received a government student loan, or if you are planning to apply for the BML student loan, you can just reach out and we can help you get all the documents that is needed for the application or to go to Australia. Also for the BML loan application, we can get all the documents together and assist with anything from Australia side as well. And talking about the education sectors, here at Study Australia, we identify 6 sectors just here in Study Australia. And one is university education. University education, we have partners from all around the world, including but some of the areas countries we focus on are Australia, Malaysia, UK, and New Zealand. So we have top rated universities from around in these countries, and we can help with assist with university scholarship. Australia is one of the countries most famously well known for the numerous number of opportunities they provide for benefits and opportunities they provide for international students. So if you have plans to apply, and if you have chosen a city, or if you're planning, you have chosen a university to apply, we can identify the scholarship opportunities and other benefits that the university is providing for international students and specified to the country. So if you're Maldivian, for Maldivian students, and if you're from another nationality, to those students as well. And we can help you apply for these benefits. And yeah, but I'll be talking about more of the benefits of studying in Australia in a later slide. And then there's pathway programs. Under pathway programs, we have university and foundation courses, foundation programs, and certificate and diploma courses. This can be very helpful for those who have just finished your school, secondary school. So after you finish grade 10, instead of doing your A-level or O-level studies, you can, if instead of doing your A-levels, you can go for a foundation program and direct entry to university. Just like Jenny has mentioned. Then there are the technical and vocational education and training TVET courses. These are provided by registered training organization RTOs that include technical and further education institutes and private colleges in Australia. So if you are currently working, if you want to take a short break from your work, or if you want to upskill your current skill, if you want to do upskilling course, a short-term one, you can enroll in one of these institutes and do a short course. So if it is less than 3 months, you can go on a tourist visa and do the course as well. But if it is more than 3 months, you can get a student visa and enroll in one of the vocational training provided by these institutes. And if you plan to do a short English course, same as before, if it is less than 3 months, it can be on tourist visa. There are different types of English language studies provided by Australia, which includes IELTS preparation, general English, business English courses, Cambridge English. So if you're applying for any university, it is a requirement for you to have done IELTS exam. So if you don't have a place to do it in Maldives also, they provide IELTS exam courses. But if you want to do it in Australia, you can go on a tourist visa, or prior to your course, you can go and do a IELTS exam, a small short course, and sit for the exam in Australia itself. And then there's primary and secondary schools education. Australia provides one of the best education opportunities for children with its diverse population and private and public schools available for international students. If you have plans to study a postgraduate course, you can take and you're planning to take your family with you. And if you have a child who is in a primary or secondary year, they can be enrolled for free in one of the public schools, and they can get a free education for the duration of your course. And also, if you're living outside Australia and if you're interested in choosing a different schooling for your child, we can assist for you to get enrolled. Along with the student enrollment, you will get a guardianship visa for one parent for the duration of your child's stay. So if you want to go along with your child, or if you want to send your child alone, we can. There are methods to do that as well, and we can assist with that. And these are the upskilling courses. So sometimes it's a requirement, even if you are currently working, for you to do a short upskilling courses. Maybe your company or your in the company you're currently working in will be providing you short courses, and you can choose to come to Australia to do a short one, which this will help you gain more skills in management, even tourism sector, aviation. There are different upskilling courses that we can help you link up with. And then this is the study tour and exchange program. These are short tailored courses and training programs for small groups of people. It can be a corporate study tour or else a vacation program. So this can be arranged by the company, or else an individual can do it with their friends. If you want to go and experience how people are doing how people are working, the work environment of Australia, then they can travel. We can make the arrangements for them as well. And these are the benefits of studying in Australia. Australia has some of the top ranked universities, and it's a safe and multicultural living environment. And the most important one, and I think something that a lot of students who are currently moving to Australia for studies look forward to, is work and earn while you are studying. So Australia provides the opportunity for you to work. There are hours set for different courses, but you can work while you're studying in Australia, and this can be a way of gaining experience too. And then, as I mentioned before, there's free schooling for children, for those who are doing postgraduate and above studies. And the internship opportunities, and there are a lot of internship opportunities linked with the universities, and also with the courses that you are studying. This can be from Microsoft. A lot of big companies are linked with the universities that we have partnerships with. And then there is graduate visa. So if you undergo a course of let's say that is 2 years, for a 2 years period, then you can get a graduate visa for 3 years after you finish your 2-year course. So during this time, this can be an opportunity for you to apply for a permanent work visa, or else a permanent residency as well. And we can assist you with those details too, if you're interested. Yeah, and even though yeah, you can just let me know if you are interested in going abroad for studies. We can have a chat, and then decide on a university, or else how your budgeting is. We can help with that as well. Thank you. Arif.
Thank you very much, Shida.
Yeah.
Now we have come to the Q&A segment of the webinar. We have got some questions from the participants. One of the questions is, do you help with getting PR?
Yeah, actually, we at StudyAustralia, we can assist in identifying how you can apply for PR, but we don't do visa requirements, but we don't help apply for visa, but we just assist with identifying how you can proceed to do the PR.
The next question is, what is the process of study tours? Can it be catered to hospitality staff too?
Yeah, of course. So if you are currently working at a resort, and if your resort wants to send, let's say, a group of people for a study tour, we can make arrangements with institutes currently with universities to see how they are working, and with some hotels as well.
Okay.
It can be catered to.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It can be catered to whatever, how they need it, their needs, and like that we can cater it.
Okay. How are you assisting students who received loans? It must be student loans, I guess.
Yeah, so for those who have received student loan from Ministry of Higher Education, currently they have all been informed that they have received one. So if they're interested in going to Australia, there is a small budget gap. They may be getting the student loan for a specific country. Australia is not included in the list. But if they still wants to go to Australia, we can identify how much more they require from the maybe, let's say, Malaysia to Australia. What is the money that they need to top up? And after doing a small budgeting, we can let them know how much they will need to go to Australia. So with budgeting and financing, we can help them.
Okay, so at Study Australia, you'll be able to assist with the budgeting, right?
Yeah.
Because for the student loan application, this time students are able to choose whichever country they prefer to go for their studies. But the loan amounts will be sanctioned based on the listed countries. And Australia is not among those listed countries, right? So if someone wants to go to Australia, they are required to submit a budget based on one of the approved countries. And
so we can assist with that. Yeah.
Okay, you can assist with cost estimation and budgeting for that, right?
Yeah.
And they are supposed to top up on with their own funds any shortage. If the total budget for studies in Australia is higher than the budget approved for the loan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the process if someone wants to enroll their child in a primary school?
Yeah, so as I mentioned in my presentation, if you have interest in sending your child, it can be with or without you as well. So if it is with you, one parent will get a guardianship visa. So you can just contact us and we will help you choose a school based on the city that you want to go, and we will get you the rates as well. So you can just email us or give us a call.
One other question is, are there any short courses available that someone could do while working?
You mean while working in Maldives, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, there are short courses available, like 3 months. So vocational and upskilling courses. These are very short, so they can go on an au-pair or even a paid leave, maybe based on if their company offers. The short courses are available. You can go through our website and get more information on these courses as well.
Okay, because the tourist visa also allows people to
3 months
undergo training if the courses are shorter than 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jenny, I have a question for you. Could you please share with us how the COVID situation is being managed in Australia, and what the future holds for us, in terms of visa processing and border, whether students will be able to come to Australia in the near future for studies.
Okay, thank you, Arif. Actually, I would say I couldn't say Australia. I would say Perth actually is really safe now, as we don't really have We actually don't really have any cases these days. And I just saw the news today. We actually didn't have the new case for more than 3 days now. And even though we have case, we only have 1 or 2. And I would say, people started to go out, start to, meet the staff to work in the restaurants. So before, because due to the COVID-19, there's a lot of students, they were so scared and they went back to their home country. But of course, at the end, they find out, Perth is so much safe compared to their hometown. And especially, whoever there's a lot of restaurants, they are looking for staff right now. And they actually are extremely need the staff to work as soon as possible as well. So in the meantime, while those international students are still in Australia, they can actually, get time to work and also earn a lot of money from that as well. So it's really, really good situation. And Perth actually looks, because we actually cannot guarantee when the border will be reopened again, but we start to take in enrollment start from the next year in February. If anything happened in the future, of course, we will be auto defer you. But this is what I mentioned to all the students before. Whenever you decided, okay, I really want to go to Australia to study. Why I want to go to Australia to study? I maybe want to improve the English. I want to meet different nationality people, friends as well. Also build up the different working experience. When you are working overseas, you will expand your, different areas, even though you are working in the hospitality field in the past as well. Yeah. So I would say with the COVID-19 situation, Perth is really fine. To be honest, we didn't really even wear the mask at all, just because we just go out and, still go to shopping, go to have the drinks with friends. We didn't even need to maintain the social distancing as well. So yeah, Perth is really fine. And we actually have a lot of different job opportunities at the moment, especially for the international student, because actually for all the local, they have got the job keeper, job seeker, so they got a little bit money support from the government. But so that's the reason why some of the maybe Australian permanent resident or citizen, even though they don't need to work, they still can get the money. But that's a good chance for international students to look for a good job, good work. So you will get a chance to maybe working in the full time while you are having the school holidays as well. So it's a really, really good chance. So I really wish whoever can, with our border can be open, and those students, for you guys, you can just come to move to Australia straight away and to get the job directly. Yeah, but I hope I will see you guys in the future very soon.
Thank you, Jenny.
No worries.
How about the short courses available for those who are working?
Okay, so actually APSI, we offer the short course. We do have the RSA course, which is it stands for Responsible Alcohol Service of Alcohol. You will need to know how to serve the alcohol to the customers. So that's a 1-day course. And we also offer Certificate 3 in Aging Support. So actually with the age support, there will be different areas. So actually with the age support, it's really high demand in Australia, just because, this is your course, you only need to study for up to 14 weeks and you can get the qualifications. So with these 14 weeks, you can smash everything out while you are studying in Australia, while you are tourist in Australia. So maybe sometimes, you come to Australia for holiday, you don't know what exactly that you want to do. So you enroll the short course. In the future, as long as you try, and once you enroll, you know what exactly that you want to do. This is what I normally tell students as well. Whenever you decide to go study overseas, you don't exactly know what exactly the course that you want to study. So you can either try this one first or try the cookery. You can either try cookery or patisserie course, because actually those two courses, they are I would say quite similar, slightly different, but you can easily to shift around. If you decided to, okay, I have enrolled cookery, but I decided I want to study patisserie course in the future, you just need to, as long as you just need to let me know, and we'll be able to shift you from cookery to patisserie or patisserie to cookery. with the short course, as I just ran back. So we offer certificate through agent support. So you'll be doing 10 weeks for the theory, another 2 to 4 weeks for the workplace training. As long as you can complete your workplace training, which is 160 hours in 4 weeks, and you'll be able to get the qualification. So this is the short course that we offer to all the tourism student who is holding tourist visa, or they are here in Australia holding the student dependent visa as well. They can study this too. So if you ever have any partner, whoever wants to study the cookery course, and you can apply for the student dependent visa. So because in the maximum study period, it will be 3 months only. But in the future, you just need to enroll with us. Or you can have a try to see what's the course that you want to do. Because as I mentioned before, aged care is quite high demand in Australia. So maybe because of the job purpose, you have a try, give it a try, and once you like it, and you will just continue the course in the future.
Thank you, Jenny. Afif, I've got a few more questions to you before we close the session.
Sure.
Are women more encouraged than before to take up careers and continue in the tourism sector? How much has the tourism sector actually changed to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the very beginning, obviously, it was always welcome. I mean, there was really no, there's no gender, bias there where we say, we don't want to hire a particular person for this job. I think both genders equally can do almost a great job in the industry. Of course, some jobs are more familiar with the with males, or some maybe with females. But I think those things are changing. For example, about 10 years ago when we started the industry, we would have mostly male nurse, but now you have female nurse, and now you have more male nurse, right? So things are changing. But I think what we need to do is there's still a lot of misconception about females working in the resort. We encourage more and more females to join. I think having more resorts to open in Ryatal, Byatal, we see that there's quite a lot of females being able to work there because nearby islands they could go home. But also not just that. I think we need to educate and communicate openly the need of this from schools, through the career guidance program, through school platforms. And the parents also needs to be aware about it. I think this is the best business in the world. It certainly gives you a very, very good compensation. If you look from a financial standpoint of view, it gives you great growth opportunities. It gives you an opportunity to work with people from all over the world. Literally in any resort in the Maldives, you could have up to 15 different nationalities. And of course, in Maldives, definitely in most cases, the majority will be Maldivians. And I think that is something we have to drive, and that's something we have to focus on. And the key point here is really encouraging more and more females to join. It's not enough. I mean, it's quite a low percentage, which I think we to be honest, we can be ashamed of ourselves that it is such a low percentage of females. But the key thing is there's a lot of puzzles which are missing. We haven't really put it together. And right now there's a lot of discussions going on, and hopefully all industry partners together. And again, it's not just the government job. I think it's the job of everyone. I think to be honest, what's truly happening in our nation is at times we all wait for someone to do something, and that someone never shows up. But if we look into details, that someone is you. I mean, if you can encourage a female to join the industry and you can help her to find a job, or if you can encourage anyone to find a job, and I think that's the part we need to play.
Thank you, Afif. Regarding the careers in tourism, I have one more question.
Sure.
It's just not limited to the country, right? What are the prospects for those who seek employment in the sector abroad?
Yeah, I mean, now we see more and more also locals going and working abroad. I mean, the number is not quite high. There are quite a few who are working in Australia itself. I'm sure some of you may be aware about it. We have quite a few in UAE, in Qatar, in Saudi. Yeah, even few in the United States, in the UK, there are a few people that I know are working there. So to my knowledge, there's definitely at least 100 or more locals who are working actually abroad. Some are in very senior level job. There's some also in Caribbean region. A friend of mine, a colleague, his name is Riza Nafif, is actually working as a director of HR in I think Rosewood Group in the Caribbean islands. So there's a lot. And then what happens is when you go and work abroad, it gives you a lot of global perspective, which I actually addressed earlier, and it helps you to actually take quite a leap in your career when you get an opportunity, because that counts a lot. Because when you work abroad, you are out of your comfort zone. You don't, you're not in the same spot. You have every day request you to perform at a whole totally different level, because it's not your own country, so you got to do the job better than anyone else. So which obviously helps you to grow. That's the best part of it. I worked in Dubai for 2 years on a full-time job, and I've done assignments in other parts of the world. But those 2 years actually reformed a lot of who I am today. I mean, we had 127 different nationalities working with us, 3,000 people. It was the largest integrated resort in Dubai. And it was just amazing. Palm Jumeirah, Atlantis Palm Jumeirah, I'm talking about. So that taught me a lot of things. That taught me a lot of things I would never learn from schools, to be honest. Taught me a lot of things that I would never learn from textbooks, regardless of what I would study. I mean, I have been to Harvard Business School to do courses at different times. That experience taught me more things than the Harvard Business School. I'm being very frank here, because what you learn on the ground is totally different what you can learn in schools. So I encourage people, if you get an opportunity, of course there are compromises you have to make it here. Nothing in life great comes without compromise. You can't get everything you want. So of course, I think a lot of challenges, some have to be away from family, but I think here's where you need to engage your family, your partner, and really try to make them understand. It's a short term, 2 years. You come back, you will have an amazing opportunity again back in the home country, right? So there is opportunities available. Visas are not that difficult in Middle Eastern countries as far as it's concerned. And of course, in Europe, it may be a bit challenging, but there are places where easily you can get visa and get a very good pay and work abroad.
Thank you very much, Afif. Now we have come to the end of today's session. We thank all the participants for joining us via Zoom as well as Facebook Live. Also, a very big thank you to all the panelists, especially Afif and Jenny, for taking the time to contribute to the webinar today. We look forward to seeing everyone in our future webinars. We wish you good luck and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you.